the top 5 highest paying business careers. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And if you appreciate this type of content, go ahead, gently tap that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and also comment down below any thoughts, comments, criticisms, etc. that you have on the video. And the best thing you can possibly do is share it with friends who need to see it. So let's go ahead and jump into it right now with number 5 on the list, which is going to be a financial controller. So I interviewed Bill Hanna, the financial controller, on this channel last year. He is somebody who got an accounting degree, so he started off as an accountant and he moved up through the ranks, and financial controller is one of those positions you can get to as an accountant. Now, this is a relatively rare position, so when you look on the internet, you're gonna see a wide range of salaries, but we're just gonna go ahead and stick with Glassdoor. So according to Glassdoor, financial controllers make about $149,000 a year. However, on other sites, you see up to $250,000 for the average or median levels. And with rare careers, you don't get the most accurate numbers, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere in between those two numbers. So probably $150,000 to $250,000 per year. So yeah, there are some medium to high level positions that you can get into within accounting and finance that pay really well. And financial controller is one example of those. Now, number 4 is going to be a sales director. And again, this isn't necessarily just the sales director role. It's sort of a pathway of different careers that you can go into if you work in sales within a company. And specifically, the most lucrative jobs are going to be in technology sales. So again, according to Glassdoor, director of sales makes about $137,000 a year. But on other websites, director of sales makes much, much more than that. We see numbers like over $500,000 a year. You know, I brought Antoine on the channel, for instance. He makes over $500,000 a year in tech sales. And then there's also even higher positions you can move up to, like vice president of sales. And in those positions, you can make millions and millions of dollars a year, sometimes over 10 million per year, right? But those are technically more executive positions. So those are very high level positions within a company where you're basically making the decisions on the direction of the company itself. So yeah, sales is a phenomenal skill set to learn. The technology industry is even better. So you can combine these two things together and you see phenomenal results. There are people that are getting $70,000, $80,000 jobs in their first year, and they're landing their first job within 1 to 2 months. And this isn't just a one-off thing. This is happening over and over and over again. I've been researching careers for years and years, and tech sales is one of the only careers that you can get into immediately and start making really good money right off the bat. Now, is sales for everybody? No, it's not. But at the same time, tech sales isn't like some kind of scammy, you know, you're approaching random people, or, you know, you're like a sketchy used car salesman type of position. You're building relationships with other businesses that you could potentially make, you know, $100,000 or $1 million contracts with. So it's much more focused on solving the problems that other businesses have and making sure that your brand aligns with theirs. Now, if you want to try to get into tech sales, my friend Troy from Course Careers actually trains people and then gets them interviews. That's right. You don't even have to do the normal, you know, application process. He literally gets you interviews because he has partnerships with these companies because they need people in tech sales so badly. And he does have a free training, which I will put down in the description as well as the pinned comment below. Watch that free training, see if it's something that you're interested in, and if you decide to use his service, I also have a $50 off coupon, which I'll put down there as well. I believe it is Shane50. Number 3 on the list is going to be executive. Now, there are a ton of different executive positions out there, but basically, as an executive, you are making decisions on the direction that the company goes. And according to Glassdoor, executives make about $120,000 a year. But again, that's definitely on the lower side. There are executives out there that make well over 10 million per year. So this one has an incredibly high ceiling in terms of how much you can make. Number 2 on the list is going to be a variety of different finance career paths. So we're talking private equity, hedge fund, venture capital, and investment banking. Now, typically you would want to work on the buy side of the finance industry because that's where the money and the opportunity is. But let's say you're working as a hedge fund manager, for instance. Glassdoor reports they make about $135,000 a year. I happen to think that is very, very low. I think that's definitely on the low side. Other websites report $250,000 or more. But there are hedge fund managers out there like the genius mathematician James Simons, who made over $3.4 billion last year.
$1 billion.
Yes, billion with a B. So yeah, don't think I need to say anything more there. Finance, really only for A-type personalities, very competitive. You're not, mad about working 60 hours minimum per week. And usually like in investment banking, you might be working 120 hours a week. But yeah, if you're that type of personality, you love working all the time, finance can be a phenomenal choice. And number one on the list will be no surprise, which is a CEO or Chief Executive Officer. This is somebody who starts a company. They might start off as an entrepreneur, but eventually they become a CEO. And according to Glassdoor, the average CEO makes $291,000 a year. But you can make much, much more than this. And a lot of the time, those numbers that are reported are just their cash that they're actually paid. And in many cases, they end up making much more money from the equity in their company. So for instance, last year, Elon Musk got paid about $6.65 billion, but in that same time frame, he went from a net worth of around $30 billion to over $130 billion. So he actually made over $100 billion total in a year. And there was a single day where the Tesla stock price actually skyrocketed, where he made $36 billion. So yeah, without a doubt, the highest paying position is going to be CEO, entrepreneur, founder, etc. And the most common career path that people who become successful entrepreneurs have in their past is sales. So if you want to check out an interview I did with somebody who got into sales, I think I'll put it like right here. I did an interview with Abdul. He got into sales at a very young age, about 19 years old, and he made over $70,000 in his first year. So definitely check that out, and I will see you there.